Hello, Dawn Moore at Allegiance Title Company. I spoke at the TAR Winter Conference in Austin a couple of weeks ago about a topic that has been near and dear to the hearts of title professionals for the last 2 years, but has not become of interest to the realtor community until just recently. When asked for a title, I gave TAR August 1, 2015, the day the world changed. They asked me to be a little less dramatic, and of course I came up with a new topic that said, New Lending Laws Affecting the Way We Do Business. The topic was about how the new lending laws imposed by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, or CFPB, affect the way you and I do business. You will learn more about this from your title professionals and the lenders in the coming months. First, you will begin to hear the buzzwords CFPB compliance. Lots of title companies will boast of being in compliance. Allegiance Title boasts of being in compliance, but understands that what it means to be compliant with the requirements the CFPB imposes on the lenders will evolve over time. Your title provider must be prepared to meet these evolving standards. If your title provider is not compliant with this CFPB standards imposed on the lenders, your lender will and can move your transaction to another service provider. When this was discussed at the TAR conference, a collective "oh" went across the audience. The other issue that you're going to hear a lot about has to do with the requirement to provide a final HUD-1 settlement statement, now known as a closing disclosure, 3 business days before closing. And if your buyer is not there in person to receive the closing disclosure or otherwise acknowledges receipt of the disclosure, then you must tack on another 3 business days for the mail rule, so that the closing disclosure has to be available for the borrower 6 business days prior to closing. You and I will have to move up our time deadlines to meet this new schedule for these closings. Initially, the CFPB said that the closing disclosure could not change after first disclosure. However, after thousands of comments from the title industry and the lender community, the CFPB has changed these rules. They have now said that that closing disclosure can change at the last minute, provided those changes do not, 1, increase the APR by more than 1/8%, 2, change the loan product, or 3, add a prepayment penalty. So if these last-minute changes do not increase the APR by 1/8%, which actually takes a pretty significant dollar increase to do so, change the loan product, or provide a prepayment penalty, we can change this disclosure at closing. But I want to give you an example of a seemingly minor adjustment that could affect your closing. For example, if you do a walkthrough prior to closing and you find that the seller has taken the refrigerator when he wasn't supposed to. For the buyer to accept a money credit in lieu of a return of the refrigerator, the lender must be consulted. That money credit could affect the loan product, thus requiring redisclosure and delay of closing. The new closing disclosure requirement does not come into play until August 1, 2015, and applies only to loans originated after August 1, 2015. So your contracts and loans originated in July, but not scheduled to close until after August 1, will not be affected. Loans originated after August 1 will be affected. I anticipate some challenges as we work through these changes and anticipate some chaos for our closings in September and October. But I firmly believe that after that, we will adjust to these new rules and we will reach an equilibrium again. Please make a point to learn about the CFPB and the new closing process so you can educate your client and prepare them for these new timelines. It is our responsibility to set realistic expectations for our clients. Thank you for listening to this video. Allegiance Title wants to be your resource for results. Thank you.